that respectfully. Always be yourself with no malicious intentions. And I say that respectfully. It's not a crime to be yourself. You know, gang stalking is real. You don't have to know somebody for someone to gang stalk. They don't hack your devices or monitor your every move or try to blackmail you against you to ruin your reputation. Never get discouraged, and I say that respectfully. I'm Naya, Junior with love, respect. And I'm far from a hater. No, it looks right on me. Ah! No, for real. You know, my conscience is not for everybody, and that's okay. Ah! No, for real. It really ain't. A motherfucker will watch you, be so disturbed at the end of the day. I can't stand that BIT6. I can't stand that dude. Ah! No other trade though for me. Never get discouraged because someone's lack of motivation. They try to humble you all because you understood rotation. Catching your blessing wasn't a rejection. How it took multiple people in different communities trying to dim your light because you understood pursue happiness. Going within to understand your intelligence. That faith is different when you understand the hold on 1 second. Authenticity starts within. They would never understand your motivation when it comes to hold on 1 second. You was your biggest cheerleader. Wasn't looking at folks like competition. Understand that hold on 1 second. It's okay to love yourself. Pray differently at the end of the day, not like the average person that have to worship the devil, don't sell your soul, fall from a copycat, let alone a hater. No, ever trade though for me. You be so surprised who's wishing on your downfall. No, for real. A motherfucker can have more than you. Did I say that? Ah! How this type of stuff actually happens, and they call you whack and coin at the end of the day. Stereotyping from miles away from a fake page, all because you understand confidence is different. It bothers they lack of self-control, all because they want to lack. Hold on 1 second. They want to latch onto you. Take credit for God's creativity because God gave you the proper tools to show up for you. They would never understand getting discouraged wasn't part of your motivation. They would never, at the end of the day, being your biggest cheerleader, thanking God every single day. Motivation is different. Always be yourself, and I say that respectfully. Not ever trade off of me. You know, when it comes to showing up for yourself, never allow someone to make you feel like you gotta shortchange yourself when it comes to your blessings. How chicks and dudes will monitor your every move. Cause hold on 1 second, they having a hard time digesting their digestive system when it comes to hold on 1 second, confidence, authenticity. Hold on 1 second, they don't understand their own word because they own it. They their own worst enemy. No, ever straight. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with these folks. Yeah. I don't know either. But this type of stuff actually happens. You ever was minding your business and then realized the hold on 1 second someone was competing with you because you was willing to challenge yourself every single day to overcome what you've been through. You know, trials and tribulations. They try to abuse you, mentally stable. Hold on 1 second. They was not your equal. They try to paint you out to be mentally unstable, paint you out to be a crash out, all because they saw potential. You actually knew how to motivate yourself when even when folks couldn't relate to you. Hold on 1 second. Your dreams truly came true. You choosing you. You know that person that didn't know how to love you, respect you. Who would have knew at the end that you be standing before yourself today? You are beautiful, you are handsome, never get discouraged, and I say that respectfully. Didn't have to pretend to be authentic, it was always within you. You ain't have to dibble and dab with smoke or magic at the end of the day, trying to ruin someone's reputation because they didn't want to treat you right. They wanted to, hold on 1 second, paint you out to be the villain in their story. It's straight gonna be so fucking corny. Oh my God, did I say that? You know what? This is what happens at the end of the day. When you too motherfucking nice, don't not be nice, but be nice to motherfuckers that's giving you the same energy. No, for real. Because the motherfucker at the end of the day would think they could play in your face and then you start speaking up for yourself. They be like, something is wrong with that motherfucker. They're telling too much of the truth. Oh my God. You know, they saying God we trust, but hold on 1 second, it wasn't an equal. When it come to motivation at the end of the day, we was on two different sequels. Hold on 1 second, my third eye is truly equal. I understood the end, that was on God's business at the end of the day. The biggest winning team, hold on 1 second, because I understood God's plan. That's what they didn't want me to do, because they couldn't stand me. No ever trade thought for me. You ever said who you was, regardless to who he say, was saying about the end of the day? But hold on 1 second, when God revealed the devil on the enemy, they would never understand. You was far from mistake, far from miserable. People pick and choose who they want to bully. They pick and choose who could curse, talk about sexual orientation, disability, age, narcotics, and violence. Hold on one second. God don't like ugly. I ain't have to worship the devil when the devil tried to step to me. I saw the devil right before my eyes. All because, hold on one second, God said I got your back, because they told so much secrets at the end of the day. When it came to behind the closed doors at the end of the day, it didn't make sense. When God was fixing your crown to show you why you're not giving up on yourself when they wanted to see you down. No, it was straight on me. Don't zip me like, my content is not for everyone. And I may not make sense to the average person. But I say this respectfully. Regardless of your culture, your religion, your sexual orientation, your disability, or your age, you ain't gotta be like everybody else to stand out. Yeah, they gonna hate from a mile away, but hold on one second, they would never understand that. Hold on one second, you was far from a hater. They would never understand you wasn't looking for a handout. Everything that you spoke upon, that you've been through when it comes to your reflection, they would never understand. Hold on one second, a time of testimony. Hold on one second, trying to stand in your shoes. Even when they try to dish you, they try to Destiny Swipe. It was an epic failure, because hold on one second, the blueprint was within you. Original. Hold on one second. Ain't no guidance when it comes to that. Because that was God's formula at the end of the day. They would never understand how you wasn't trying to hurt nobody. All because you knew how to be authentic when certain folks couldn't relate to you because they was having an identity crisis. Did I say that? Fuck them. It looks right off of me. I heard from a great person at the end of the day that I looked up to. And I still do. And I don't, I mean no harm or nothing like that. No, for real. But they said, fuck you. It's a traitor thought for me. You said it first, but hold on one second. I ain't have to pretend at the end of the day to love myself because you didn't understand your own way. You was lacking self-control when it came to that cavity. You forgot to go to that doctor, but you said I was mentally unstable, but I was still keeping up with my doctors at the end of the day because God was restoring me to heal me properly. You would never understand my flow. Yeah, I'm whacking, I'm corny to the average person that ain't normal at the end of the day, being somebody. No, the traitor thought for me. Because when you authentic, you not worried about what he say, she say, rooting you on. I continue to go on at the end of the day when folks try to discourage me to do me wrong. It didn't matter if they had a couple of dollars at the end of the day, the big house on the mansion, all because, hold on one second, I was far from pretending when I actually said what I said that day. I was trying to get my life together for all the right reasons, because you start from somewhere, folks forget where they came from, all because they understood at the end of the day they had to make sure that you don't get to the mountain. That invisible mountain, I don't know what the fuck that was about. But it's a trade through me. They said the top is fucking lonely. But I was sitting at the top of God this whole entire time, being a popular loner. They would never understand I was far from 730. They said my elevator ain't working, planting me out to be somebody I truly wasn't. All because they didn't want me to prosper. Yeah, I talked about liquor. Yeah, I talked about narcotics. Yeah, I talked about this. Yeah, I talked about that. But hold on one second, I'm talking about God's favor. It's a traitor thought for me. That energy is different. I wasn't trying to hurt nobody. I may not make sense to the average person. And that's okay. Because when the right people walk into your life, they see you, they hear you, and they respect you. Chicks and dudes at the end of the day, they say, I'm doing spell work on you. I'm sending you the evil eye, motherfucker. Yeah. I couldn't allow that to discourage me. God, thank you for helping me. Thank you, God, for helping me. Hold on one second. That was my remedy. I didn't have to go to that witch or that warlock or that coven at the end of the day to be down, to be real at the end of the day. Because insecurity, hold on one second, wasn't lacking within me. Because I understood to be my biggest cheer at the end of the day. All because someone didn't see my growth, to see my pain, to see my words. At the end of the day, I was worthy of change. I wasn't running from my reflection when it comes to my past. Self-love looks good on you. They would never understand that. Hold on one second. Confidence will allow you to see far from cocky. You're trying to better yourself when it comes to your reflection. They would never understand the test of time at the end of the day. You wasn't trying to hurt nobody. I never knew it was a crime when you pick up the phone and call somebody that was spell work. I never knew when you decide to go to the store that's spell work or whatever the case may be, because someone truly is watching your every move like gang stalking, or because, hold on one second, someone trying to kick you down, discourage you. They plotting against you to plant a formula at the end of the day to ruin your reputation, to paint you out to be the crash out when you wasn't trying to project pain. How this type of stuff actually happens. See, I told you they was gonna go live. See, I told you they was gonna go to the store. See, I told you they was gonna stop. See, I told you! This type of stuff actually happens. How we live in a spiritual world, but when God revealed the devil alone, the enemy, it was a test of time at the end they can't relate to God's direction. How chicks and dudes would be plotting on your funds, trying to rob you mentally, spiritually, finance. At the end of the day, when you would have to have, hold on 1 second. Did it matter if you had funds or not? How you could just be so authentic, and you just got a special gift within you that weighs so much than money. And I say that respectfully because it came so authentically. You wasn't trying to steal nobody's swag besides be authentic. They would never understand the challenge of time at the end of what you had to go through to understand your reflection. You know, loving yourself at the end of the day, finding a peace to better yourself. They would never understand you was far from a mental health. When folks try to paint you to be the villain of their story, but who would have knew at the end of the day, God, so he never gave up on you because God understood your point of view. Wow, because you are the blessing. Never give up on you because someone wants you to be discomfort in your own skin. You know, I would never hurt myself regardless to what man or woman is praying on my downfall. No, it's a train of thought for me. You know, I go live every night at 10:15 p.m. on YouTube. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. My content is not for everybody. And I say that respectfully. It's not a crime to be authentic. Loving yourself is not a crime. I'm far from a hater. No, it's a trade through me. I can't let it process. It's stupid. No, for real, for real. I don't understand how people have that mindset. Jealousy? Thank you, God, for them putting that at me. It's a trade through me. I wasn't my worst enemy. Hating? Envy? Never looked at my neighbor like competition. Then mad they tags back with their bad habits. Regardless if it's a chick or dude, elderly, child, at the end of the day, that couple that's watching my every move. It be the train of thought for me. I wasn't trying to lose my screws. I understood the formula. God's remedy at the end of the day. Love myself when it come to boundaries. I pray for every single day not to get out of character with someone at the end of the day couldn't clean their ass, let alone understand their own self-love when it come to confidence, staying they lame. It be the train of thought for me because I wasn't my hesitation when I showed up for myself today. No, just a little under the weather because the weather's a little funny. But that's besides the point at the end of the day. But I prayed at the end of the day to ask God that you allowed me to see another day. And that's what God did. Even when the enemy or the devil, I ain't got to know them. The ones that act like they know me at the end of the day trying to ruin my rhythm. But God is not stopping my shine at the end of the day because the light starts within me when it comes to my faith. All I have to do is be authentic, continue to show up for myself. I continue to understand blossom. Hold on 1 second. You know, butterfly continue to blossom when certain folks want to dim your light. No, ever trade told me we all don't have the same conscience, but be yourself. Authenticity. Always be yourself, and I say that respectfully. You know, gang stalking is real. These individuals, you don't have to know them within communities, zip codes, county, countries, or whatever the case may be, for them to hack your devices. It's currently 10:54 p.m. They control your devices. They hack your devices, your accounts, your emails. They reroute your phone calls, reroute your mail, reroute your packages, even throw it in the garbage. We even paint you up to be mentally unstable when you truly keep in the real, being a true teller or bother they mental health. They said that your voice don't matter at the end of the day. How they trying to rob you behind closed doors when it come to your past. They watching your every move like a bad habit, something that you're not signed up for at the end of the day. That was to be blindsided, but God was showing your faith. Never living fear because someone trying to dim your light. I didn't raise you like that. That ain't just different. Regardless who wasn't rooting for you at the end of the day, you never show fear. That ain't just different. You know, speaking up for yourself, that's not showing fear. Loving yourself, that's not showing fear. Being authentic and creating to go within, that's not fair. Knowing your worth, that's not fair. That's overriding what the devil doesn't want you to show up to do. Choose you. It don't matter about their culture, religion, sexual orientation, disability, or age, and I say that respectfully. You know, my content is not for everyone. You know, if you're a content creator or not, at the end of the day, never get discouraged when someone has you shadow banned, or it's individuals that work in certain departments, or individuals that have high status names or have more than you or less than you at the end of the day, trying to make you feel like you're not worthy of choosing yourself. And I say that respectfully, or they block you from saying certain things, or they hold back certain videos or certain numbers or whatever the case may be to paint you out to be. At the end of the day, you're doing it for no reason. But hold on 1 second, you showed up today. It don't matter what job description it is at the end of the day, regardless if you're a content creator or not. Never stop choosing yourself. And I say that respectfully. You know, my content is not for everyone. Entertainment purpose only. Today's currently January 10th, 2026. No, ever checked on me. I'll be yourself. Yeah. You the money, you know the money, you know. No, ever trade it off of me. You ever said to yourself, you know what? I want to change my diet around. No ever trade on me. You would decide to say, you know what, I'm throwing all this bullshit at junk food or whatever the case may be in the garbage. Then you start to reevaluate your life tools. I could use that for a rainy day. You ever trade it off of me? You ever throw your goddamn food in the goddamn garbage and had to go to the store all over again? No, they traded over me. And then I realized that you was having a crisis within having a crisis because you done bought all this goddamn food or whatever the case may be, and you still trying to find out a meal plan, and you still trying to figure out how you going to deal with this health gear. No, ever trade over me. You decide to say, you know what, I'm going to the gym. You know, one thing about working out at the end of the day, when you first start working out, you gotta stretch. No, it's the trait of me. Don't shortchange the soul of your goddamn memory. It's the trait of me. No, for real. When you trying to do better at the end of the day, because you know your old habits and you know you can't project it into your new ways, or it's a trait of me. This motherfucker started stretching and shit and started without the hold on 1 second. No wonder my reflection didn't make sense last week. I forgot to fucking stretch. No, the trick thought for me. How chicks and dudes want you to be in a mindset of depression. They don't want you to understand your motivation is different. How folks will project spur little magic at the end of the day so you could gain weight, lose your finance when it comes to your stability, but God restores everything for every season for all the right reasons. They would never understand that you're your biggest cheerleader. They want you to be in a mindset of deep depression, anxiety, PTSD. They want you to be so emotionally drained. They don't want you to sleep to understand your rainy days. Heaven traded off for me. Wow. How this type of stuff actually happens. How you only gotta know somebody at the end of the day, but they be watching your every move when you go from point A to Z. They don't like the fact that, hold on 1 second, how you keep your figure so, in balance? How do you keep yourself so together at the end of the day? How I'm throwing sport and magic at you in a toxic way? How you keep showing up for yourself even on my rainy day? That's how they looking at you at the end of the day. Damn. How you not getting discouraged yet? The last person I did it to be a bully at the end of the day was multiple people that went up against that person. They voice got them. They didn't feel like they was worthy enough. Somebody took their life. Everybody's walk of life ain't the same, but that was someone's reality. And that person's life needs to be restored. And I say that respectfully. Because how dare you try to shortchange someone's growth because of your mental health at the end of the day because you ain't woke. You lack self-control when it comes to your discipline. You so insecure at the end of the day, all because you had to pretend to be authentic. You nothing but a copycat at the end of the day. You got to dibble and dab with sport to make yourself feel irrelevant at the end of the day when it comes to your pointless conversation. How it took a witch and a warlock at the end of the day. You got to give your little couple of dollars to. You had to lie and say that someone was doing this or doing that to you. Or whatever the case may be. When you was behind closed doors, hold on 1 second, doing someone mentally unstable. Trying to project, hold on 1 second, a mental case on them so they won't be able to speak up for themselves. How this type of stuff actually happens. How chicks and dudes will try to distract you when it comes to certain folks' animals. You be so surprised at the end of the day how folks will try to, so they sold. Ever drank on me, but God told. You ain't have to do none of that at the end of the day. When it comes to showing up for yourself, hold on 1 second, you was fought from someone's charity case. When your story never switched up, never dim your light. And I say that respectfully, far from pretending being authentic. This is the part where they say at the end of the day, we ain't gonna make sure that you prosper when it comes to being your authentic self. Why? You don't gotta do nothing to nobody for someone to rob you mentally, spiritually, or financially, or project spoke on you, or even send you to an evil lie, or have a whole hate group towards you. It's one thing taking accountability for your actions. When you don't run from your past, but you understood, hold on 1 second, that conversation is different. When I know how to be an adult, acting my body weight, not my shoe size, that energy is different. When it comes to hold on 1 second, you wasn't lacking your faith. Someone that go up against you at the end of the day, all because you was willing to choose yourself, never get discouraged, and I say that respectfully. Never get discouraged by the devil or the enemy. My content is not for everybody. It's not. I love to talk about love.
Not ever trade on me. I do. Love is rare, love is one of a kind, with the right one truly for you.
Ah, wow. It was fresh conversation. Who would have knew? Someone loving you properly. Who would have knew that motivation is different? Fall from a joke when someone knew how to protect your mental health when it come to hold on 1 second, better days ahead. Fall from a pointless conversation when someone actually knew how to protect your heart. Who would have knew that someone truly was making love to you? Wow. It wasn't just because, it wasn't doing it just to get in your jaws at the end of the day, just to talk about you like a bad habit, doing it for likes, if you're a cloud chasing or fame or to rob you mentally, spiritually, or financially at the end of the day, to make you blindsided when it comes to your future. But someone actually knew how to bring balance into your life, to love you properly. Loyalty and respect went a long way. Regardless to how to love you, respect you, the ending come from poverty and pain. Who would have knew that two worlds can come together? Two people at the end of the day showing up for each other. Only reason things got better, common sense at the end of the day. Someone prayed to realize the hold on 1 second, God didn't make a mistake. Y'all may not pray the same, but someone truly brought you peace. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And just because one's energy is different.
Not ever trade on me. Always be yourself.
Because true love is not complicated. Someone was in competition with you when it came to loving you. Someone being faithful to you to love you the right time. The right time was the best time of your life at the end of the day. Who would have knew that you thought that you almost gave one a love department when it came to your boundaries? Even when you got lost in your words, but who would have knew that, hold on 1 second, misery wasn't part of your company?
Not ever trade on me, because your past had a hand problem. They did all types of weird shit or whatever the case may be.
They couldn't even meet you halfway. Only right to hold on 1 second.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just because moments. Love is real, love is one of a kind, with the right one truly for you.
Wow. Someone didn't have to play with sport to get to time and day. Someone genuine and kind at the end of the day. Your biggest cheerleader up close in person behind closed doors. Weather in the storm at the end of the day, who would have knew that the love of your life wasn't trying to do you wrong? Y'all may not pray the same, but when the right person walks into your life, they see you, they hear you, they respect you with phenomenal intentions. I'm not 18 respect, and I'm far from a hater.
Not ever trade on me. Be yourself, be yourself, be yourself.
Today is currently January 10th, 2026. It doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur or not at the end of the day. I say this respectfully. Because someone doesn't see your potential, or someone doesn't believe in your vision, that does not mean stop showing up for you, regardless to what environment that you're in. Regardless if someone's preying on your finances, regardless if someone's wishing you bad, regardless if someone's praying out you be a crash out, they can't wait for you not to show up for yourself at the end of the day. Never dim your light. Gang stalking is real until it's your household. These individuals at the end of the day would monitor your devices, hack your devices, your accounts, your emails, clone your devices, change your IP address, monitor your every move from the time that you go from point A to Z at the end of the day, try to blackmail you against you, try to rob you mentally, spiritually, financially at the end of the day, even try to project a hate crime towards you. They will know individuals that work in certain departments at the end of the day to ruin your life so you won't prosper in life. How this type of stuff actually happens. They will project spell work towards individuals that's trying to come towards you. They will project spell work towards people from your past, because they want to know at the end of the day who you was when those folks not even in your life no more. How individuals will walk into your life and act like they, at the end of the day, they so here for you. Never feel wrong for expressing yourself to the wrong person or reaching out to somebody at the end of the day with encouragement words, and only to find out that they was willing just to blackmail you against you. Never stop having a beautiful heart within at the end of the day, because when the right people walk into your life, they see you, they hear you, they respect you with no malicious intentions, and I say that respectfully. My content is not for everyone. It's not. And loving yourself is not a crime. I'm far from a hater. Never allow a man or a woman to threaten your life because they decided to take your kindness or weakness and make you feel like your voice was not worthy because they was willing to plot against you, to rob you mentally, spiritually, financially. And when God reveals the devil alone the enemy, regardless to what tax bracket someone's in or what job description someone was in that day or they in at the end of the day, never stop choosing you. And I say that respectfully. Always be yourself. I am my biggest cheerleader. They say God not real because individuals in the background robbing you mentally, spiritually, financially, got you under spiritual welfare, trying to attack your third eye, trying to attack your creativity, trying to attack your finances, trying to attack your love life, trying to attack you from prospering in life, trying to attack your kids, trying to attack people that mean something to you. Never give up on yourself. We live in a spiritual world. And I am far from a hater. And I am far from a copycat. When it comes to my creativity, I work alone. I always have since day one. And I say that respectfully. Never allow yourself, regardless that relationship didn't work out, that job didn't work out, that business didn't work out, whatever it was, whatever the subject it was at the end of the day, never give up on you and never feel wrong for expressing yourself to the wrong people because when the right people walk into your life, that grass is actually green. With respect, loyalty, no malicious intentions. Someone don't look at you like competition. Someone don't got hate or jealousy or envy within you. Someone is not trying to rob you mentally, spiritually, or financially. You know, my content is not for everyone. And I say that respectfully. It's not. I go live every night at 10:15 p.m. I'm Naya, Junior Love Respect, and my content is not for everyone. It's not. Always be yourself with no malicious intentions. To the genuine ones with no malicious intentions, you matter and you're worthy. Just because someone didn't know how to love you, respect you, protect you, or pour into you, or they didn't see your worth, or they didn't see your potential, that does not mean overlook you. That does not mean hurt yourself with words. That does not mean give up on yourself. That does not mean you are not worthy, because you are worthy and you do matter. And healing trauma and pain is not a race overnight process. Protect your energy and protect you and your family and stay out of trouble. My content is not for everyone. We all ain't haters, neighbor. Socialize, hold on 1 second. I got the right people by my side. The energy is different. It was never no conflict, no disrespect at the end of the day. Respect and motivation is different. When you got authentic people in your life at the end, they don't look at you like competition. It was never a hesitation when folks is truly praying for not against you. Elevate, don't dim your light. Elevate, don't dim your light. The energy is different. You know, when folks walk into your life that truly respect you, regardless if they older or not, at the end of the day, they putting you on a game. They ain't trying to hurt you with pain. They came from poverty and pain regardless. At the end of the day, if they didn't, they know how to respect their neighbor with no misintentions. They ain't trying to hurt you to dim your life. They want you to prosper, become your best self, vision of yourself, regardless to your culture. The energy has different. Love yourself, don't dim your light. Love yourself, don't dim your light. When you fall from it, hey, neighbor, don't dim your light. I say that respectfully. Cool your energy back. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and just because moments, all that negative energy return back to sender. Hold on 1 second, I just wanted my energy back. It's the train of thought for me when folks had to pretend they was making money go for you, then disrespect you, trying to rob you mentally, spiritually, financially, trying to say that you whack your corner, you're a bum, B-I-T-C-H, because you love yourself, the better yourself, love yourself, don't dim your light. When you fall from a hater, hey, neighbor, don't dim your light, neighbor. Misery loves company, but it wasn't part of your vocabulary. The right folks truly saw your potential at the end of the day. They were truly cheering for you miles away. That energy is different when it comes to hold on 1 second. Self-love looks good on you, neighbor. You know, to the genuine ones with almost attendance, I actually appreciate your time. My content is not for everyone. I go live every night at 10:15 p.m. and it's currently 3:09 p.m. And I say that respectfully. I pick and choose when I pick up my phone or my devices or whatever the case may be to record. No ever Trey told me, I don't understand what's wrong with people, let alone a motherfucker would say, I just spell work on that motherfucker. I told you he was gonna come outside. I told you he was gonna go to the mailbox. I told you. Now when God revealed the devil on the enemy, damn. Just continue to smile. Never allow someone to project fear in you. You're going from point A to Z because folks trying to kick you down. They trying to project mental cases on you at the end of the day. Once you're in a straight body jacket, hold on a second. They want you in a straight body jacket. They want you in a cell box. Hold on 1 second, but God gave you a name. You was far from someone's number at the end of the day. How it took over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, over 30 people at the end of the day. Just try to make you frown. But God maintained your smile because you stand before yourself today. Dealing with gang stalking, dealing with a hate crime, dealing with domestic violence. Hold on 1 second, damn. Your list continue to goes on when it comes to folks not respecting you, folks overlooking you when you come to telling the truth at the end of the day. But God saw what they was doing behind closed doors this whole entire time when you wasn't trying to catch a case. And one thing you never had to do, regardless who was gang stalking or monitoring your device at the end of the day, you never had to run from your past. The energy is different. You know, gang stalking is real. Individuals will try to distract you from telling the truth. They would try to stop you from showing up for you. It just don't matter if it's a couple, man, woman, elderly, or even a child. How this type of stuff actually happens when it comes to gang stalking. How they individuals at the end of the day, they don't want you to prosper in life. They don't want you to show up for you. The trade on me, don't tip me. I'm like, It's currently 3:10 p.m. I'm Naya, Genuine Love Respect, and my content is not for everyone. And that's all right. I gotta go. That's the trade on me. Love yourself. Don't dim your light. When you fall from a hater, neighbor, don't let them dish you. Nah, don't let them dish you when it come to dimming your light. Understanding your potential was always within you. Being authentic, fall from a copycat. They would never understand you can't be duplicated. And I say that respectfully. Water you down at the end of the day when God's allowing you to blossom. They would never understand that. Hold on 1 second. It was never competition. Let on hate. And the JW, always be yourself. Always be yourself. And I say that respectfully. I go live every night at 10:15 p.m. And I'll be going live tonight at 10:15 p.m. You know, because that's the time I go live. No other trade though for me. And we'll see at the end of the day if they try to do otherwise. Because, you know, at the end of the day, when the devil or the enemy doesn't want you to prosper in life, they make sure they do everything in their motion at the end of the day. They little bones to make sure that you don't show up for yourself. You'd be so surprised at the end of the day who go up against you. Or because you was willing to choose you. You walk by faith, not by sight. They will never understand that. Hold on 1 second. It's okay to prosper. We all don't pray the same fall from a hater. No, and the JW, always be yourself. Love yourself, don't dim your light. Love yourself, don't dim your light. I gotta go. When it comes to my creativity, I work alone. I may be whack and corny to you, but I'm different. I wasn't trying to fit in. It's a train of thought for me. Say they dish you, but then they follow you. Say they dish you, but they still take notes. But they dish you, but they see that you got potential. They don't want you to prosper. They don't take their spot. But hold on 1 second. You was far from a hater when you was giving your neighbor respect. You far from a hater when you was congratulating at the end of the day. You know, they said that you wanted to be down with them, trying to be part of their table. But hold on 1 second. Nah, I just know how to respect my neighbor. That's how God works. Respect your neighbor. Somebody not for you, keep it pushing, hater. No, and the trade told me, thank you, no, thank you, you're not for me. I gotta go. Always be yourself. Loving yourself is not a crime. It's not. Never allow someone to project fear in you or make you feel like you can't show up for you. I am my biggest cheerleader. And I don't worship the devil good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. And my soul was never for sale. I would never hurt myself regardless who's praying on my downfall, regardless if it's a couple, man, woman, elderly couple, elderly people, or a child. And I say that respectfully. I would never stop showing up for myself. And I say that respectfully. I work alone when it comes to my creativity. You know, when it comes to gang stalking, these individuals will hack your emails, reroute your emails, and act like they had conversations with you or third party, whatever the case may be, or who's trying to reach out to you, or they would stop your emails from coming. They would reroute your mail, your packages, all types of weird stuff. It's crazy because gang stalking is really real. They would even invade your privacy when it comes to your living space. It's a train of thought for me. But your voice does matter. I don't live in fear. I'm Naya, genuine love, respect, and I would never hurt myself. Gang stalking is real to your household. Never allow someone to make you feel like you can't show up for yourself. You are beautiful. You are handsome. Loving yourself is not a crime. And the JW, peace and respect your neighbor. Stop the violence. I said what I said. I gotta go. Always be yourself. It's not a crime to be authentic. I go live tonight at 10:15 p.m. It's currently 3:14 p.m. I'm Naya, genuine love, respect, and my content is not for everybody. You know, I was threatened and disrespected at the end of the day. They said if you don't have a following or a fan base, then you're irrelevant. When your voice means something at the end of the day to God, when your voice means something to you, an individual could be threatened. You don't have to have a fan base or not at the end of the day to be authentic. You don't have to have a fan base at the end of the day for your voice to matter. And I say that respectfully because the same people that's projecting on you at the end of the day is the same people that's trying to stop you from prospering because they see something within you at the end of the day that they don't have. It's a train of thought for me. How folks will monitor your every move and take notes at the end of the day, but one will put respect on your name because it's you. And when you know how to give authentic respect and congratulations to individuals in the day, God knows your heart. And regardless if you got food in your fridge or not, you may be short on a bill or two, whatever the case may be, or whatever you're going through in life, or whatever the case may be, you're dealing with depression, anxiety, PTSD, you still know how to respect your neighbor. We are all not the same when we're going through trials and tribulations at the end of the day. It's train of thought for me. We are not. It's individuals that go through trials and tribulations every single day. Depression, anxiety, PTSD. But they are not haters. No, and the trade though, and they don't look at their neighbor like competition, especially if someone got more or not at the end of the day. It's a thought for me. Authentic, genuine love hits different. Authentic respect hits different. Individuals will look at you like competition. But we don't pray the same. That motivation is different. I'm Naya, genuine love, respect, and I'm far from a hater. Always be yourself. And the church will be always be yourself with no malicious intentions. I'm on YouTube. I go YouTube live every night at 10:15. I'm on Instagram. They removed my live from Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on TikTok. And I go live every night at 10:15 p.m. I'm Naya, genuine love, respect, and I would never hurt myself at the end of the day, regardless at the end of the day who's praying on my downfall. And I say it respectfully. Today is currently January 10th, 2026. You know, when it comes to gang stalking and they hack your devices and your accounts or clone it or whatever the case may be, they control your devices as to what you see and what you can't see at the end of the day, and then try to paint you to be mentally unstable, that you're delusional and crazy, because they're willing to have a group of people to go up against you. But never allow you to live in fear at the end of the day, and especially when you walk with God. That is just different. I would never hurt myself. I am my biggest cheerleader. I gotta go stop the violence. I'm Naya, genuine love, respect. Peace and respect, so respect your neighbor, stop the violence. Have a good day.